Hi, I'm Tashana. I'm an author and a self-publishing coach, and I help women write and publish children's books. So today I wanted to pick up on one of my earlier videos about the steps in self-publishing, and in particular we're going to look at children's books. So one of the first steps that you want to look at is determining why you're writing. Is it that you're going to be writing to create a legacy, you want passive income, you want to entertain, you want to inspire? What is your why? Because this helps you to get on with the process, and when things are tough, at least you have that mindset, that strong why as to why you're doing this. The next step is to figure out what it is that you're going to write. So are you going to be writing picture books, story books, chapter books? Are you going to be doing coloring books? These are the different things that you need to consider when you're looking at writing a book. Once you decide what it is that you're writing, you also have to figure out the age group that you're writing for. And this is important, because you don't want to be writing using words for a 10-year-old when you're targeting really a 5-year-old. So it's important to know who your audience is. Figure that out and take your time to study that audience. So you have to do your research, what it is that that audience is looking for, the words that you need to use in that book, how are you going to lay out your book. All of these things are things that you need to consider when you're looking at your audience. What demographics are you writing for, and so forth. The next thing is to figure out how your book is going to look. Will you be using a glossy format for your cover? And a glossy format looks something like this. This is my other book. It's kind of shiny versus a matte cover, which is more not shiny or not glossy, right? So you have to figure out how is it that you want your book to look, and because that is important when you're speaking to your illustrator. So once you've understand that first 3 steps, determining your why, determine what it is that you're going to write, determine who you're writing for, and you can do your research to figure out how it is done. Look at Amazon and see what other children's authors, writers are doing and how their books look to get a better idea. And then you begin to write. So you write your script, and then first of all, you edit it. Do your first proofreading, but don't edit while you're writing. That is my recommendation, because you will just always keep going over and over and over. Try and ensure that you write your text or your manuscript, then you proofread it. And after you've proofread it, get out all of those grammatical errors. Then I suggest that you find an editor to do a professional job at editing your book. And if you're doing a children's book, I recommend that you find an editor that has experience with editing children's books, because these editors will help you in terms of the language that you're using, and they can guide you whether it's appropriate or not, or choose this word instead of that one. So you want to make sure that you have that right. Find your editors that are seasoned in doing children's books. And you can always find an editor on the internet, social media, right? You also have freelance sites such as Fiverr.com or Upwork.com. So you can find your editors there as well. The next thing is, once your book is written and done, I suggest then that you also find a graphic designer or an illustrator. Again, you can find these freelancers on social media, anywhere on the internet, and Fiverr and Upwork again are 2 of the sites that have freelance workers. You can hire an illustrator there. Ensure that when you're hiring the illustrator, again, when you're searching for these on these websites, that these illustrators have experience in illustrating children's books. You can also find an illustrator that will help you format the book. Not all of them do, but you can ask your illustrator if they will format it for you, as well as place the text on the book. So formatting the book, you tell them what size, whether it is the 8.5 by 8.5 or 8.5 by 11. So the size of the book, they will know how to lay it out. And for children's book, it's usually considered bleed. So the print runs off the book. There's no space there. This is called bleed. So your editor, your illustrator will know how to get that done. So you can ask the same illustrator if they do formatting and placing your text. If not, then you have to also go back on these sites and hire someone to format your text on your illustration once it's done. Now, once you hire your illustrator and you present to them, ensure that you have a detailed description of your illustration, of what it is that you want on each page. Now, this will help you a lot in terms of saving money, because you don't want that illustrator to be putting the child in a red pants when you really wanted a yellow or a blue. So be very specific in your description when you're assigning the job to the illustrator, what exactly you want. Ensure that you tell them to leave a space, whether at the top, bottom, side, for your text, because you don't want them putting the graphics in the area that you want your text to be on, and then when the text goes there, it's not legible. So ensure that you're very detailed in your description and give them that. So you know, page 1, this is what I want on page 1. You also want to tell them whether you want a 2-page spread. So a 2-page spread is really like, let me see if I can find one here, where the image spreads across 2 pages, right? Something like this. So it runs across. Or you want them to have a 1 page, so the graphics is on one and then the text is on the other page. You can have your book just looking uniform, where all of the book is just a 2-page spread, or you have 1 and 2 pages that have the graphics on one side and the writing on the other. It's up to you. But just ensure that when you're hiring your illustrator, that you have made this very clear in your instructions. Otherwise, take it from me, my experience, it will cost you to have to go back and say, fix this for me. This is not how I wanted it. You have to know what you want so you can explain your vision to the illustrator. It will save you time and money. Trust me, my experience, right? So get that done. Write out your description, how you want it, what page 1 needs to look like, what page 2. You need to tell them how many pages you want in the book. And for the persons who will be doing the placing the text on it, you need to have your copyright page, your title page, and of course you'll have a blank sheet at the front, as well as your dedication page. Ensure that all of this is laid out clearly, at least in your head, and then you can pass the information on to the illustrator. Once this is done, so your work is out with the illustrator, I suggest that you do some research in the meantime on Amazon. So while that illustrator is working, it usually take about, for children's books, about 30 days minimum to get that done. And so for Amazon, the minimum number of pages that they allow for you to upload on their platform is 24 pages. So for a children's book, you have to consider that you should have at least 24 pages. So while they're working on that, you're doing your research. Ensure that you figure out your title, which should have been done before, but you can do it now. Your book is, your text is done. You can determine what title you're going to use. Check to ensure on Amazon that there isn't a book already out there with that title. Ensure that you have your subtitle as well. And while all of this is happening, you're doing your research, your keyword research. Again, you can go on Amazon and just type in children's books about, and you can see the books popping up, and you can get your keywords from that. Make sure that you have your keywords documented. Amazon allows you 7 keywords. Make sure, my recommendation is ensure that you maximize that 7. So do your research and get your keywords, write it down so that when you're ready to upload to Amazon, you have your keywords. Again, while your book is being illustrated, this is a time for you to sit down and do a book description. Really, this again will be used when you're uploading to Amazon. You have to put a description in. Sit down and figure out, okay, I'm talking to my audience, I'm talking to the parents who will be buying this book. What are their needs? What need is my book fulfilling? Put that in your book description. So you're describing your book, and get that ready. So your book description, your keywords, and again, now you're gonna think about your categories, right? When you're uploading, Amazon gives you an option to upload 2 categories, but really you have the capacity to have 10, and you can do that after your book is uploaded. So you're gonna figure out, again, do your research, go on Amazon, look at the children's books that may be similar to what you're writing, and on the books page, the sales page, you can see the categories that Amazon has those books in are shown, and you can pick categories from there whether or not it ensure that it aligns with your book. Don't be one of those people that because you want to rank up as bestseller, you choose categories that are not applicable to your book. Amazon will also find that out. So ensure that the categories that you're choosing are aligning with the title of your book and what your book is about. So once you have that now, so you have your description, you have your title, subtitle, you have your keywords, and you have your category. Ensure that you have all of this in a document so that when it's time for you to upload to Amazon, you can just copy and paste, right? The next thing is to now ensure that you purchase your ISBN. You can purchase your ISBN from a website called bulker.com, and whether you want to purchase 1 or you want to do it in 10s, you can decide. If you are on a budget, Amazon does allow you to use their free ISBN to be assigned to your book. If you choose that, you need to know that you are not able to publish your book on any other platforms because Amazon has assigned their free ISBN, so the book has to stay on Amazon. So you have to think about that long-term, short-term vision and determine what it is that you're gonna do. So get your ISBN number ready again, and so when you're ready to upload. So you can be doing this while the 30 days is going on, where the illustrator is working on your book. Of course, you set milestone or dates to them. Okay, 2 weeks, I want to see this. You can let them send it back, you review it, etc. So once that's done, and now you have your book illustration done, you are satisfied with it, you have your text placed, your book is all together. Oh, but by the way, while the illustrator is working on the interior, that same illustrator doesn't necessarily have to work on the book cover. You can also put that out to somewhere else, somebody else to work on for you. So you can get your image from the illustrator that's doing the interior, and post a job out on Fiverr, Upwork again, using that image to say, hey, I need a book cover created using this image, and you have somebody who is experienced that does book cover. Take it from me, you want somebody who knows what they're doing in terms of designing a book cover. So once you've gotten all of that done, book cover, interior, your words are placed on your books and you are satisfied, you have, so they have now given you back your document in PDF or JPEG. Create your KDP account. So KDP is the platform that is used for you to upload your manuscript, and your book is published through Amazon KDP. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. So that's the platform that is used. kdp.amazon.com. If you want to know, go on that site. It will ask you to create an account. If you don't already have an Amazon account, you can create an account there. Or if you want to use your existing Amazon account to link it to your KDP account, you can do that. Once you're there, there are different sections on the KDP that we can run through in another video. You complete your information, your name, the author's name, the title of your book, the subtitle. They ask you for the description. It asks you whether this is a book for children. It asks you for keywords. Again, you're just going to pull these from the document that you'd have created separately, right? So you put this in, description, your keywords, your categories, and then you would go to the next page. It asks you to upload your information. So you upload your cover separately from your interior. You upload that. You can preview. So Amazon allows you to preview what the book is gonna be gonna look like. I will do another video. Hopefully I can share my screen so you can see what uploading on KDP looks like. So you can do that. Upload your book, preview it, and if there are errors, Amazon will show you that there's something wrong with your document. If there's an issue, then you have to pull it down and fix it, because it will not allow you to go further. If you get that done and it's approved, then you set your price. So you go in and Amazon will tell you what's the cost for printing your book, and then you can set your price. So if you set your price, please ensure that you look at this. At first, when I did my first book, I didn't know that I could change or adjust the prices in the other areas. So Amazon.com, say for example your book is $12.99, it automatically calculates what the book will cost in the other currencies. If you want to change that, you can. Just know that you can. You don't have to, but know that you can change it. So you set your price and then you hit publish. Amazon usually takes about 72 hours to review what you have done to ensure that everything is okay. And then you will get a lovely email to say, congratulations, your book is now live. And that's the process of self-publishing a children's book on writing and publishing a children's book on Amazon. If you found this video helpful, please continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.